So what is VLAN, guys? Virtual LAN, yeah, the full form, good. I mean, the functionalities or the use, why do we need it?
It's dividing large broadcast.
Yes, it divides larger broadcast domain into smaller broadcast domain. Book definition, good. Anything else? Ulji, happy bolio. What is VLAN? Oi, cheese nahi. Something else about apart from that. Anything? What is the other benefits of VLAN? Nothing. Switch port? Sorry, I didn't understand. So what? Partition. Yeah, same thing. Partitioning. Okay. Anything else? Hello.
Grouping devices.
Yeah, elaborated version of the same dialogue. Okay, you? No. Sorry, it reduces the? Yes, it reduces congestion, right? Or it reduces flooding of packets or frames. Syed? Go on. Privacy, yes, it gives privacy or security, right?
To communicate between inter-VLAN and they cannot.
There can be two types of models to design a VLAN.
Two types of
Models like
mod.
end-to-end and the local.
Two types of what you said?
Design model.
Module. Okay.
Two types of VLAN. One is port-based. Second one is matrix. Correct, sir?
Vinay, bolo. Something about VLAN. Kitna VLAN, sir? Tell me, man. I don't have the whole day. Huh? How much VLANs are there? How much VLANs are there? 12. Who told 12? 12 VLANs. 4,000? Yeah. Yeah, 4096. Correct, Janvi. So that's VLAN basically. No, we can't use all of them. There is a segregation. Yes, we will discuss. So basically, VLAN helps to increase the broadcast domain. Definitely true, and also what it decreases the it also increases the chances of privacy or security. Correct, and the flooding of packets will be lesser. Correct. So it's also a logical division. It's also called as logical division of network. What is the physical division of network? Sorry? Physical division of network is what? The router. Router will divide the network, right? That is how normally it is divided. This is logical division of network. Okay? So in this case, let's say there is a switch. Four PCs are connected. This is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. I wrote 5 PCs. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. This is 0/1, 0/2, 0/3, 0/4. Okay. So by default, all of them will be able to communicate with each other, right? Why?
Same area.
Same area. Area means same VLAN. Okay, I didn't know that. Same area means same VLAN. New definition. So all the ports of a switch belongs to by default what? VLAN number 1. And VLAN number 1 is called as management VLAN. Who said native VLAN? Every class I hear that. You remember I told this dialogue also in your class. Forget about native VLAN. VLAN 1 is called as management VLAN. What is the reason for that? Most of the companies, organizations, the network admins prefer to remain in the VLAN 1. Right? Why? आपको पता है, मुझे पता है. Last. Tell me. You were saying something? Okay, tell me in wrong wordings, no problem. It's okay? Okay. Anybody else want to tell here? No? Think about VLAN 1 specialty. I mean, any VLAN can be management VLAN, but they prefer to be VLAN 1 to be the management VLAN. What can be the reason? Reserved? What? For easy understanding, no. Yeah, you'll be knowing. Tell me.
It cannot be removed.
It cannot be deleted, right? Can be delete VLAN 1. If there is some kind of bug or something happens, let's say the VLAN database is removed from your VLAN database, will be saved in which memory? CCNP you might have studied. When I type, I'm creating some VLANs. I'm typing do WR. It's saved. Okay. Then I am typing erase NB RAM. It will be gone. Yes or no? No. Only VLAN in database will be saved in the flash memory where the IOS is saved. Operating system of the device is saved. In the same place, VLAN database also will be saved as a file called VLAN.dat. If you type show flash in real devices, GNS3 you won't be able to see. In real devices or even in packet tracer you will be able to see. In switches, if you type show flash, you will be able to see the 2-3 files. In that one file name will be VLAN.dat. Only when you delete that file, the VLAN database will be deleted. Next time when you create again VLANs, that file will be created automatically. So you don't have to worry about it. But by mistake, instead of VLAN.dat, don't delete the IOS, which is also there in the same file system. Okay, then basically your operating system is gone. Right? So be careful about that. If you want to make a note of it, it's important. And interview people will ask you in a fresher level, definitely they'll ask you all these questions. VLAN.dat. DAT, short form of database. नहीं लिख रहे? VLAN.dat. D for Denmark, A for something, Apple, yeah. T for Thailand. So that's the reason all of them reside in VLAN 1. Now, in frame, somewhere, where it is we will discuss later, somewhere there will be some bits will be reserved for VLAN information, correct? How many bits will be reserved in a frame for VLAN information? 2 power how much? 2 power how much is 4096? 12. Correct? So how many bits in the frame will be reserved for, how many bits is reserved for TTL value? In the normal IP header, you have TTL value. All of you know that, right? So TTL value maximum is how much? Huh? How much? Maximum TTL value is how much? 255, right? So that means how many bits is reserved? Then you can say that answer which you told. 8. 2 power 8 is 256, which is 0 to 255. That is why 8 bits is reserved for what? TTL. Correct? 20 bytes of information is what? A IP header. In that everything has some information, right? Same way, this is, I'm just giving you example. IP field is also that source IP field. How much bits will be there? 32 bit. So destination IP address will be there. How much bit? 32 bit. Like that, in the frame, VLAN information will be marked somewhere. Yes or no? How many bits will be reserved for VLAN? 2 power 12. 2 power 12 is how much? 4096, which means now we will write down the VLAN classification. Total number of VLANs. Total VLANs is how much, guys? I'll give you time to write. First listen. Total VLANs is equal to how much, guys? 0 to 4095. This is the 4096 VLANs we have, right? In this, usable VLANs is how much? Usable VLANs is 1 to 4094. What happens to 0 and 4095? It is reserved VLANs. 0 and 4095 is reserved for future purposes. 0 is already used for quality of service, right? In layer 2 there is something similar to quality of service, which is called as COS, class of service. So for that they are using some places it is used. Just understand, or else you simply say it's reserved VLANs. Okay. Then we have standard VLANs, correct? What is the range of standard VLANs? 1 to 1000? 23? No. 1003? No. Any other answers? 1001? Yes. Yes. 1001 is the usable one. But there will be 1000 till 1005 is there, correct? In which, in the standard itself, you can write down like usable is what? 1 to 1001, and legacy VLANs are there, right? Which cannot be used, but it's always there. 1002 to 1005, like FDDI, token ring, all legacy protocols. It's not used anymore, but it's those VLANs which was reserved, it is there. Hari, you can write, I'll give you time. 1005, okay? This is clear. Next is extended VLAN range. What is extended VLAN range? 1006 to 4094. Okay? These are the total classification of VLANs. Is it clear? 12 bits of VLANs will be classified like this. Write down now. आप लोग को बोला था ना ये कृणल, it's already said to you guys, right?
वर्जन अपडेट करने से उसका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन भी देते हो
Documentation in the sense?
सिलेबस है टॉपिक
Syllabus is already there.
और वो कैसे जनरली वो लर्निंग और सिस्को में वो टॉपिक जो है वो कैसे वर्क करते हैं वो भी जनरली
वो topics जो क्या बोला आपने?
जो भी जैसे प्रोग्रामिंग ये होती है इस तरह से वो वर्क करेंगे वो भी
हाँ.
दिया रहता है
Overview.
और
Yeah. 2020 is going to be completely programming, I guess. Automation will come in full-fledged. AWS will be too much by the time, high in demand. Done? Written? What happened? So coming back to our topology, so what we have, let's say these two devices and these two devices, they belong to HR department and they belong to IT department. So I don't want them to communicate with each other, or if there is a flooding happening, I don't want HR's data flooding to affect the IT's department or IT's data flooding to affect the HR department. So I want to divide them into two different VLANs, right? Let's say these two are part of VLAN 10 and these two are part of VLAN 20. How do you create and all? You might have studied from NA classes. VLAN simply 10, 20, create it and exit from that. Then these two interfaces should be assigned under VLAN 10. How do you do that? Interface range E0/1 and E0/2. Then switch port mode access VLAN 10. Same way, give it for the two devices in the right side, that is 20. Once that is done, will they able to communicate with each other? Like 1.1, can it communicate to 1.3 in any way? Yes. How? With a router, inter-VLAN routing, right? No. No. Inter-VLAN routing is every class the same answer I will be getting. Why inter-VLAN routing do you guys think? Inter-VLAN routing means what? Routing between two different VLAN, and routing needs one more thing. What is it? It has to be two different network. Correct? Is it both of them are two different network? No. When you need a router only when you have two different networks, or else you don't need a layer 3 device. Yes or no? Here, do you see any layer two different networks? All the four devices are in the what? Same, not switch, same network, 1.0 network, correct? So why do we need a router here? It's completely unnecessary. Actually, you cannot make VLAN 10 to VLAN 20 communicate. You cannot. If it is like this, let's say instead of this, 2.3 and 2.4. And this is VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Then you can make them communicate using a router or layer 3 switch. You can make them communicate with each other. Clear? Or else this is not possible to make them communicate. Clear? You're not satisfied still. I can see in your face. Clear? Any doubts? Feel uneasiness, that's not on that side. So next is, what if there is another switch connected over here, which is also having 4 ports, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, HR, VLAN 10, IT, VLAN 20. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is port number 5. This is also port number 5. Switch 1 to switch 2. So tell me guys, can I communicate? I mean, here also I have configured what? Let's say VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And then in the second switch, I've also made the interfaces to the respective VLANs. After that, can I communicate from VLAN 10? That is, in short, can I communicate from 1.1 to 1.5? Is it possible?
Yes.
Can I communicate from 1.3 to 1.7?
Yes.
No.
But you have
They're
to
the same
do
VLAN.
anything.
Huh? Yeah. Guys, what did I say? I just created VLANs and 1, 2, 3, 4 parts are part of the respective VLANs. By this kind of configuration, it's not possible to communicate. Huh? Yeah.
You've created those who are
Yeah, created a VLANs, I told first. Then I told these ports are part of their respective VLANs. That's the configuration I told. In that way, how can you communicate from 1.1 to 1.5? Can I communicate?
There's another configuration.
Sorry?
There's another configuration this year because you said you only configure the VLANs, right? So you haven't touched the link that's connecting.
No, I have not touched.
Then it's not possible.
Yeah. See, you answer to the question. You have to answer to the question, right? So that was my question. So now, why we are telling it won't be communicating with each other? It's connected. It's connected. There is a link. See. Yeah. So no, it is configured. How can you say? See, this is the problem, right? You have studied I know what you are expecting. Trunk, right? You reach some point. Trunk, fine. But why we want a trunk?
Because between switch only trunk.
Two
friends.
So I'm not asking any complicated question. Simple. Forget about trunk for time being. This is the configuration. Why I'm not able to communicate from 1.1 to 1.4. I'll start from here. Tell me. Different? Which are different VLANs? 1.1 to 1.5. 1.3, where did it come from? I said 1.1 to 1.5. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, tell me. Will it communicate? If it doesn't communicate, why it doesn't communicate? Tell me. No. No. That's the easy answer, right? No.
Because from one VLAN we won't be able to reach the other VLANs.
Why?
That's the
It's a very simple question and very simple answer.
that's the rule.
That's the rule. Who made that rule? CISCO. Okay. Yeah. Come on. You know the answer. See, the interesting part is you guys already know how to solve it. I'm simply asking what is the problem? See, I don't want the answer. I already know everybody knows the answer from CCNP classes. I am sure of that. I'm simply asking what is the question? Why it is not able to communicate?
Because the link can't, if VLAN tagging, the link can't.
Tagging. Where the tagging came from? There is no trunk. No, I'm just making you all understand how you are studying. No, I don't mind that. All of you. You have to study in a way like people ask scenario-based question. You're done. Just facts. Me or some other trainers, whoever teaches something, you write notes by heart. It done. Over. Studies are over. Go on. Don't know. Excuse me, sir. After the discussion, please. No idea. Syed, no? Very happy, right, about it? So? Yeah, slowly you are coming to the notes. So basically, there are two kinds of notes. What is access port, track port? It goes like that. You know, you'll be knowing.
I think trunking protocol.
Huh?
Protocol.
What?
Protocol.
What protocol? Protocol.
Trunking protocol.
Trunking protocol. That's the answer. You heard me. Nobody's hearing, has any hearing problem. Nobody can hear today properly. My question was 1.1 is not able to communicate to 1.5. Why?
Because it's not sharing.
What is not sharing?
VLAN information.
Who's not sharing?
That switch.
Why it's not sharing?
Because there is no trunking protocol. The trunking protocol.
Deny. No idea. Janvi, do you know? Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I also thought that about trunk. If you create,
So,
it will be
yeah.
possible to communicate.
You want to say the answer?
By default, that port is automatically configured.
No. You gone to another topic. No. That's not the reason. That is all comes in trunk. Why? Simple. I'll tell you 1 minute. Simple, guys. VLAN 1, I mean 1.1 is not able to communicate to 1.5 because this port is by default part of what? This is part of which one? How VLAN 1 will take the traffic of VLAN 10 or VLAN 20? See, this is what I'm telling. I know, oh, this and wow. But you don't know the problem. You already know the answers, solution. What happened? The example is?
This example that you just made, CCNP.
Is it there? Okay. So, what should I do now?
No, I'm saying it's got passed through it.
Yeah, I know trunking. So, next page, right? That's a good attitude. So, next time, please read it. So, this is the reason, right? Do you all agree?
Yes.
This port is by default VLAN 1. This port is by default VLAN 1. And VLAN 1 ports will not carry VLAN 10 information. VLAN 20 will not be carrying VLAN 1's information. Like, nobody will carry another VLAN's information. So, as a solution, they wanted what? They came up with a rule, right? What rule? This interfaces should be trunk. They came up with a concept of trunk. Now, write down notes. I'll give you. In switch, there are two types of ports. अब इसका next चीज पे गया है ना? Actually, there are in switches there are two types of ports. One is first one, access port. Access port are the ports which are connected to the end devices. What if I connect to a printer? PCs. Access ports are the ports which are connected to the end devices. You know the CISCO's agenda, right? They don't want correct answer. They want the perfect answer. All their answer will look like correct only. So PCs is not a perfect answer. Yeah. Access port can be part of how many VLANs, guys? At a time, access port can be part of how many VLANs? Sorry? All the access port.
The ports available in this.
Yeah, it will be part of all the ports available. Access port can be part of how many VLANs, guys? Again, I am repeating the question. Okay, one only. Okay, Janvi is telling one. You also telling one. Anybody else who wants to join the group one? You? And you? Others are in which group? Don't know group? How many VLANs? 2 VLANs. Actually, access port can be part of 2 VLANs. One data VLAN, one voice VLAN. He don't like my answers. He says like, boy, you are cheating. One data VLAN and one voice VLAN. Anybody who have worked in call centers? Never worked. Right? In IP phone connection, you might have seen it. how the connections will be there. I'm just giving you an example of real time. From the switch, a connection will come to the IP phone. Assume this is IP phone, okay? From the IP phone, they will connect it to the PC. This is how the connection will go on. I worked in call center, so I've seen this. They will have a Avaya IP phone or Cisco IP phone, and in this, what is this? IP phones, they will be having two Ethernet interfaces. One will be connecting to the device, one will be connecting to the PC. And through this port, two different VLANs will be going. One will be separately for voice, one will be separately for the data which is coming from the PC. If it is only one, yes, there is only, if this is the only connection, then in this port only one VLAN, you can say data VLAN. Clear? Write it down if you want. So through an access port, only one data VLAN and one voice VLAN will be allowed to pass through. Next, write down trunk port. Trunk port are the ports. Trunk port are the ports which are connected to other devices, like example what? Switch to switch, switch to router, switch to PC. Yeah, I wanted that faces. Switch to PC is possible, trunk, or switch to server. Server is what? A special device. PC can be a server. So switch to server, is it possible to make a trunk link? Yes. Yes. Nowadays it's very much possible. That's VMware and all. I mean, virtualization is coming into picture, right? Not coming into picture, it's already there. Okay. How do you think this will happen? There will be a server. From the switch, there will be only one connection connecting to the server. Now the switch and the server will be working as trunk. You know why? Inside the server, the VMware, let's say it's VMware, the VMware will create a virtual switch. In the virtual switch, they will create VLANs. Okay? So it is possible. Correct, Anna? So don't think it's not possible. PC, look. Switch to switch, switch to routers, and switch to PC also. Or switch to servers mostly. Trunk ports carries by default all the VLANs configured in a switch. Trunk ports carries by default all the VLAN information, or no, what did I say? All the VLANs configured in a switch. Okay. Then what else? Trunk. Wait. Or in other words, trunk port carries all the VLAN information across the devices. Or in other words, trunk port carries information about all the VLANs across the devices. Under that, as a small note, write down. Trunk port uses two types of encapsulation methods or two types of tagging methods. What is it? Two types of encapsulating methods or tagging methods. Right? What are the two types of tagging methods or encapsulation method? ISL and .1q. First write down ISL. ISL, inter switch link. Inter switch link. ISL is a Cisco proprietary. ISL is a Cisco proprietary frame tagging method. It encapsulates the real frame. It encapsulates the real frame with the extra header of 26 bytes. It encapsulates the real frame with an extra header of 26 bytes. Next, .1q. I'll explain it. Don't worry. .1q. In bracket 802.1q. 802.802.1q in bracket. .1q is a open standard frame tagging method. .1q is a open standard frame tagging method which adds 4 bytes of VLAN information, which adds 4 bytes of VLAN information to the actual header. Okay, so it's like this. ISL will add something like this. So normally a frame will be how? Tell me. How will be a frame? What all fields are there? Huh? Layer 4 data frame, only frame. Data, okay, here. There is a data here and there is a FCS here. Yeah, preamble, correct, Janvi. What is the first field, guys? Preamble. You guys might have heard about it, right? Or seen? Preamble. Then what is the second field? SFD. Yes or no? So you guys are staring at me like I'm doing something wrong. What? You've never seen that. So it doesn't exist. Destination, MAC address, then source, MAC address, then type 0x00 something will be there. So this is how the frame will be. Yes or no? What is preamble, by the way? Simply, since we discussed, tell me how it will be. What is preamble? CCNP people. Who are the new CCNP people? Then anybody else? I said there were some other two guys, right, with you. Yeah, you tell me. What is preamble? No, it's okay. You tell me. No? Anybody wants to say, try? What is Janvi mentioned preamble? So what is Janvi? Preamble? Hello?
Yes, not
Yeah,
sure, but
so you know the field preamble.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Why? There will be simply 010101. It will be like this. The preamble will be 01010 0101010 0101. Like that it will go on. Why? It is mentioning that this is the This is the way to synchronize with the other side. There is a synchronization required in the bit level, I mean the wire level. To synchronize with the remote device, this preamble is set. And in the end of that preamble, which we call it as SFD, start frame delimiter. It will be also like 0, 1, 0, 1, like then 1, 1, 1, 1. When only continuous ones is coming, it will understand. After this, the data is, the information is starting. Start frame delimiter. Okay. Then it's true, right? After this, the real information starts. What is it? First will be destination MAC address. I don't have to talk about that. Then there will be source MAC address. Then there will be type. Type means in this type field, it will mention what? What is the upper layer protocol going to be used? In a normal frame. Okay. In a normal frame, you will see what? If I'm not wrong, 0x0801, I guess. 0x0801 means IPv4. That is why next header, what is it? Layer 3 IPv4 header. Correct? So it's mentioning what is the upper layer protocol which is being used. That is why type is used. But in a .1q tagged frame, the type will be not of IPv4. It will mention that it is using .1q. And then it will add 4 bytes of information. That is how .1q works. But in the case of ISL, it's not at all good because it will not use a special space in the .1q. It will add a new header itself. Is it a good thing? It will take a lot of time, right? Processing delay will be too high. It will add a separate header called ISL, and that is also 26 bytes. Normally, fragmentation can easily happen whenever there is a ISL. Because the maximum size of the packet yesterday I mentioned, right? What can be? 1500 plus 1500 plus layer 2 header is adding layer 2 header, I told 1000. Yeah, maximum 522, including the .1q header, correct? But if you are adding, what is this? Yeah, it will be normally without adding the .1q header. What is the maximum? 18. If you are adding ISL, what will happen? 18 plus 26 is 26 is 44. So 1544. This is too much. It will be fragmented into 2 frames again. It's not a good idea, right? So that is why we don't use what? And it's too much size. What is the information which is required for to be added in the frame tagging? From which VLAN it is coming, correct? To add this, ISL uses 26 bytes, but in the case of .1q it uses only 4 bytes. Fine? Clear? Add that, make a note of that. Like if you want to draw a picture itself. ISL will be like this. This will be like ISL header. If it is .1q, how it will be? .1q, it will not add a new header. Only a 4-byte field will be used from the type. Okay. SFD. Yeah, SFD means start frame delimiter.
So in our CCNP class, our training is something like, for instance, in a frame, if you're using Ethernet, it's going to show Ethernet. If you're using CCNP, it's going to show.
Yes, yes.
When the frame that is shown.
There are different types of frame itself. Ethernet type 2 frame is there. Ethernet type 1 frame is there. Again, the structure of the frame again will different depending on frame to frame. But this is like a popular frame. At least you should know this much when somebody asks you in interview or something. I'll show you now frame. Okay. And yeah, this 4-byte value means what, guys? I mean, what now? You all drew this, right? Can I remove it? I said from the frame, the 4-byte value. How the 4-byte value will be divided? This will be the 4-byte value, where this will be what? TPID, which is of 2 bytes. What is TPID? Tag protocol identifier. What is the use of it? Here they will mention like something like 0x8100 or something like that. I mean the codes which is going to be used in the upper layer, actual upper layer. Okay, and then this whole information will be called as TCI, tag control information, in which the first this is 12 bits, which will be, this is 1 bit, which will be 3 bits, right? This will be 3 bits, okay? And this is 4-byte value, 2-byte value, as I told you. This is 3-bit value. This is used for what? I told you, class of service, for quality of service. And 1 bit is called as canonical bit. And this 12 bit will be used for, what is 12? VLAN ID. Okay? Got an overview at least? Right now. I'll show you this in real time. तुम लोग को क्लास में लिया था नहीं? TCI stands for tag control information. Correct? That's what I said in your class also. Hey! Oh! Sorry. TPID, tag protocol identifier. COS is class of service, canonical bit, VLAN ID. Done? So when does this frame gets tagged? When does a frame get tagged? Tell me, guys.
Is it not when you send it over?
Yeah, go on. Tell me.
A frame, I'm saying I think a frame gets tagged when you send the frame over a trunk.
Yes, very good. Whenever a frame leaves out through a trunk link, the data will be tagged. For example, if I'm trying to communicate from VLAN this interface to this interface, is there any requirement of tagging? No. Or if I'm trying to communicate from here to here, is there any requirement of tagging? No. The tagging will happen whenever the data goes through a trunk link. Correct? When he is sending a broadcast or he is trying to find a MAC address using ARP or something, through which all interface, and this data is received on the switch port. The switch will forward this information through which all inputs. Huh? He is getting a data, maybe it's a broadcast. So this switch will forward that through which ports? Yeah, the ports which are in the same VLAN. That means it will be forwarded through this port, and there is one more thing. It will be also forwarded through all the trunk interfaces. This way. Hello? Are they? Are you? Sorry. Sorry. Guys, 10 minutes break, okay? Yeah. Dot one Q, right? Any doubts? No, right? Now, what is native VLAN? The favorite topic of many people. What is native VLAN? What is native VLAN? Huh? I can't hear you, man. VLAN 1 is native VLAN. Same answer again. No. What is the use of native VLAN or how it functions? Anything? What is native VLAN? Native VLAN. What? Answer that. Nothing is there. You tell.
VLAN 1.
Yeah, please. What is the function of native VLAN? Binan? No tagging, right? Untagged frames. Yes or no? Native VLAN sends untagged frames through a trunk link, correct? Means, I said, like whenever a normal frame, for example, if he sends a ping packet to the 1.5, what happens? When it goes through this interface, he will add a .1q tag which says that, okay, this is coming from VLAN number 10. And when it receives on the receiver, he will look, okay, this is coming from VLAN number 10, and he will remove the tag, and it will be forwarded only through the VLAN 10 interfaces and the trunk interfaces if there is any other trunk interfaces. This is how it functions, correct? So whenever a data goes through a trunk interface, there will be a tag normally. But only for native VLAN, the tagging will be not there. Means by default, which is the native VLAN? VLAN 1. Now you can say VLAN 1 is the native VLAN by default. You can change any VLAN into native VLAN. So VLAN 1, what happens is, if this guy is VLAN 1 and this guy is also in VLAN 1, what happens? If he tries to send data, it will go through trunk interface and it will be not tagged at all. It will be sent as it is. And it will go to the other side. Correct? This is the function of native VLAN. The question, then there is a question. Why do we need native VLAN? Or what was the purpose of introducing native VLAN in the network? In the beginning. Right now it is a different story. What was the reason they introduced native VLAN while introducing the concept of trunk or .1q? Security purposes. No, there is no security actually. That is the current scenario nowadays. No tagging can cause you the kinds of attack like VLAN hopping. There is an attack called VLAN hopping and all, which can be easily done. So it's not a secured thing. Then what else? Any ideas? आपको पता ही होगा.
During migration when we are using hub.
Yes.
That time.
So guys, before switches there were hub. For example, let's say there is a hub here. Hub, does it understand what is frame?
No.
Does it understand anything? MAC address, IP address, nothing. So let's say there is a 2 PCs here. How do we connect to this? If we put .1q tag and all, will the hub understand it? No. Will the PCs understand this? In the normal case, no. So what they do is the devices which are connected to the hub, as well as the devices from our network which wants to communicate to that hub devices, will be put into the native VLAN. So that there will be no tag, it will go as normal frame. This was the history. But nowadays, I told it's not a good, see, there are different practices which companies does. Some companies will use like in call centers and all. What they do is the voice VLAN, they will make it as a native VLAN. What is the benefit? The voice we want faster. It's a RTP protocol, right? RTP means what? Real-time protocol, real-time transport protocol, right? So that means they want things to be as fast as possible, correct? In those cases, a tagging is happening. Now that can slow down the process, right? So that time they will do what? Make it as a native VLAN data, so it will be untagged and it will be faster. Some companies does that. That is in call centers, not all companies. But otherwise, most of the companies consider the native VLAN as a unsecured thing. So what they do is they'll create a dummy VLAN in the network, maybe 555. Okay, I'll create a VLAN number 555 in both the switches. Fine. And then I'll make 555 as my native VLAN. And this 555 VLAN will be not assigned to any interface at all. So what is the benefit of this? Through trunk link, there will be no native VLAN traffic going on. Yes or no? True? This is one method. There is another method. I don't know whether you guys know. The native VLAN can be also tagged. It's normally untagged, but there is a command where we can make the native VLAN also tag it. So that in your network, there is no data which goes without tagging. Clear? Any doubts? Write down if you want all these things. Make a note of it. Like, what is the three things you can tell? I told right now. One is assign the native VLAN for the traffic which you are interested to go faster. That is one solution. Or create a dummy. Second solution is create a dummy VLAN and never assign it to any ports and make that dummy VLAN as the native VLAN so that in trunk interface no native VLAN traffic will go. That is second solution. Third solution is tag the native VLAN also so that no data will go untagged. Correct? Any doubts, anyone? बोल क्या ये 3 steps समझा वो तीनों? लिखने के लिए नहीं बोला, मैं समझने के लिए बोला. लिख लो. You're thinking what to write. Then how you will say in the interview? That's why I'm making you guys to write. You didn't write, I guess. देखा? लिख ही नहीं रहा है आप. बुर्को. Nobody understands, so write down. It's a Russian name. Write down. Wherever he is, there will be always some discussion going on. I don't know what is the discussion about. Just the points. तो आधे घंटे से वो स्टार डाल के क्या लिख सोच रहा. Interested traffic will be sent through. Interested traffic will be sent through trunk link with the help of native VLAN. Example like voice traffic. Okay. Second point. We'll create a dummy VLAN for say 555, and this dummy VLAN will be not assigned to any ports so that all the traffic through trunk link will be tagged. Third solution, tag all the VLANs including the native VLAN. Happy? Next topic. Okay. That's a secret. Not today. Tomorrow. Today only theory. So guys, let's say there is a scenario like this. Apart from Binoy and Krunal, anybody can answer? Binoy, तुमको पता है? I didn't even write. Before that, you decided. This is VLAN 10. Oh, no. This is 1.1. This is 1.2. This is VLAN 10. This is VLAN 20. Okay? Will they ever communicate with each other? No. Right? I told that because same VLAN, same network, two different VLANs, it cannot communicate. But I want them to communicate with each other. How? Okay. Now we'll start the sequence. Yeah, go on. What is the solution? You know? No? No. No. Don't say no again. Excuse me. You think, guys, think. Sorry?
You want them to communicate ROA?
Not in an ethical way, but even in an unethical way, it should be communicating.
So you can use the layer 3 switch over router.
Okay, fine. Layer 3 switch I'll use then. Then
Then you're gonna SDI.
SVI I'll create. Okay, then it's not gonna work. Burgov, don't know. What if I do this? This interface is VLAN 10. Okay, this is not a trunk port. This is an access port VLAN 10, and this is access port VLAN 20. Will they communicate with each other or not? Yes or no? What is the condition of communication? When a VLAN 10 data is coming, it will go through all the VLAN 10 interfaces as well as a trunk interface, correct? In which case, it will go through this way. Now, when it receives in the other side, okay? When it receives in the other side, what happens? He thinks whatever data is coming through this interface is for VLAN number 20. So he will forward it to all the VLAN 20 interfaces as well as trunk. So it will go to this. Now PC will only check the source IP, destination IP. So it will communicate or not in this way. Yes. Clear? Any doubts? This is all interview question. Trust me, someday somebody will ask you, then you can at least answer. Is it understood? It's not just, you cannot say like even in interviews they ask, okay, they will communicate. They need an explanation why it happens. So properly you should say like the packet, they will ask for the packet flow. So VLAN 10 data goes to the switch ports, which identifies it is coming for the VLAN number 10. It will be forwarded through all the VLAN 10 interfaces and the trunk. It is practically possible. There will be frame errors coming, but practically it's not possible and practically it's not required. But it's theoretically possible, and it's asked in the interviews just to make sure you understand the concept of VLANs. It's a very famous question. Okay. So the concept is clear. Any doubts? And yeah, it will go through VLAN 10 interfaces. In the other switch too, since it receives the data through VLAN 20 interface, it thinks it is coming for VLAN 20. It will forward it to all the VLAN 20 interfaces and trunk interfaces. Ultimately, it will go to the destination and the communication happens. At least draw the scenario. You can write the complete communication later after going to home. Correct? Even if one of the side is, both of them are VLAN 10, will they communicate? No. They can give you different scenarios. Like this is also 10. Will be there communication? No. Or both are 20, no communication. Only in the case of this is 1, 10 and another is 20, then it communicates. Understood? Done? All of you?
So if all are VLAN, then
It won't communicate. It all are VLAN 10, yes, then they will communicate. Fine? Next scenario. This is trunk. Will they communicate now? Nothing else. This is a trunk, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Will they communicate with each other or not? No. Why? It adds a tag. Who will add? The first switch will add a tag saying that it is coming from VLAN 10. So when it receives in the second switch, it will not forward it to VLAN 20 interface. Correct? Fine. But in trunk interface, this is trunk interface, but I want them to communicate. Then he's like thinking, why you're torturing, sir? I know personally, there are 2 students who got the job only because of this answering. Trust me, I don't want to say the name because recording is going on. The company's name, but after the class I'll tell you. So it will be helpful someday. So tell me. It is a trunk, but I want the communication to happen. Think. You know it, right? You. What? It was taken in your class, man. If he knows means you was also there in the class. Anyone wants to answer? I don't want to ask one by one. Anyone wants to answer? Janvi? Hello? No, I think. Okay. So this is the scenario. Here the native VLAN is equal. I'll make it as 10. Here I'll make the native VLAN as 20. Will they communicate then? How? Tell me the packet flow. It will go through, the data comes to this switch. It will be forwarded through all the VLAN 10 interfaces and trunk interface, correct? When it goes through this trunk interface, it will check who's the native VLAN. Who's the native VLAN here? VLAN 10. So there will be no tagging. Now the data leaves through this interface and reaches in the other side. Now we'll think from the point of view of switch 2. Switch 2 in a trunk interface, since it is receiving a untagged frame, he thinks it is coming for which VLAN? His native VLAN. And his native VLAN is what? VLAN 20. He will forward it through all VLAN 20 interfaces and trunk interface, which means ultimately it will go to and communicates. Yes or no? But it's native VLAN mismatch. Yes, very good. So guys, if I make both the side native, different native VLAN, is it okay? What is the error message you're going to get? Native VLAN mismatch. I don't want that also to come. But this should happen also. Why native VLAN mismatch error comes? Because of what? If the VLAN, native VLANs in the 2 switches are different, native VLAN mismatch error comes. I understand. How the switch identifies that? I'm simply configuring a trunk. I'm not sending any data. Suddenly you will start getting what? Native VLAN mismatch error. How the switches are understanding there is a mismatch in the native VLAN. Have you ever seen the native VLAN mismatch error command? That error message? Yes? No? Study the rule, then break the rule and observe what happens. That's how you should study. Okay, Janvi, you only told native VLAN mismatch, right? So, how the native VLAN mismatch error looks like? You have seen it, right? Hello? Yes. So, how does it look like? What is the reason for native VLAN mismatch?
When I try to give the native VLAN command on the other end of the switch, the other end of the trunk, then it gave the.
Okay, but have you read the native VLAN mismatch error message completely?
Yeah, a long time ago, but I don't remember that one.
Okay, fine. Then you? Yeah. CDP is the packet which is always going on between the switches, right? Cisco Discovery Protocol. That is the packet which identifies native VLAN mismatch. So I don't want native VLAN mismatch to happen. What is the solution? No CDP run. Then you will not get native VLAN mismatch error, and this communication will happen. Got it? CDP is anyway security threat, I think, correct? It is very dangerous. Trust me, enabling CDP is very bad idea. We study CDP is a great deal and all. It's helpful that this, even there is LLDP, right? That is open standard of CDP. CDP is very dangerous. It's not at all, it gives out all the information of your device. For a hacker, it will be like, okay, great. I don't have to do anything. I got a packet, every information is there to hack. So you have, it's better. Most of the companies will even disable CDP. It's completely unnecessary. Yeah, maybe for monitoring purposes and managing purposes, it's useful. But, you know, in a wider way, if you think, it's actually very bad for the network. Fine. Got an idea anyway to communicate between these two? Okay. Draw this in also. Any doubt? Anyone?
So is it possible if we disable CDP?
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfectly fine to disable the CDP. If you disable the CDP, you will not get the native VLAN mismatch error after that.
Okay, then it will allow the traffic.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
CDP, Cisco Discovery. You have not heard about CDP? No? No? Okay, CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol. No? Today, then go and check what is CDP. By tomorrow, submit the homework, you three. Write a paragraph about CDP and bring it to me, since you guys have never heard about it. I'm serious, okay? And you should be coming to class tomorrow. This question can go into a different level also. Some people will ask question like this. There is a PC here and it's connected to a switch and it's connected to another switch and it's connected to another switch and this here and here. Then they will ask, okay, this here native VLAN is 10, here 20, here 30, here 10. Like this, they'll go on writing. You have to one by one figure out how it communicates. Ultimately, you have to follow the packet and see whether it really communicates or not. Got it? Here VLAN. You want an example like that? Yes or no?
Yes.
I have to think about it. I thought you guys will say no. Okay, fine. I gave you example in your class, I guess, right? You have that. You didn't do? You, Vinay? I gave something, or else I have to think and create one. 1, 2, okay, 2 is enough. 3, 4, and a PC. Let's say this is VLAN 10 again. This is VLAN 20. Here is VLAN 1 is the native VLAN. Okay. Here VLAN 2 is native VLAN. Here VLAN 10 is native VLAN. Here VLAN 20 is native VLAN. Okay. No, wait. Will it communicate or not in this case? Think and tell. Think, follow the packet flow. Hmm? Will it communicate? शायद क्या यार बहुत irritated लग रहा है. Will it communicate? Think. Hmm? Will it communicate? You want 1 day time? By tomorrow, tell me whether it will communicate. Draw this picture and go. Janvi, by tomorrow, tell me whether it will communicate or not. Okay. So this will be the end of today's class. Tomorrow we will discuss about the lab section of whatever we discussed today. Fine. Commands, all those necessary steps. So tomorrow, okay? Bye guys. Watching your message something, I guess. Okay, bye.